Hello, beautiful soul. I'm going to guide you into self hypnosis using the tool, the calm breath and the sigh breath. And we're going to make it more potent and powerful by using our senses. And the first place to start would be drawing instead of your imagination in real life, so that smelling the smell of coffee or cinnamon is going to be easier if you actually have that scent right there. So for me, I like to go out on hikes, and I am blessed to be able to go walk in the forest, along the river. And there's a lot of beautiful smells that I can tap into. There is a lot of visual cues that I can focus in on. I can do textures, touching different stuff. So that for me, on my hikes would be an ideal opportunity to practice using the self hypnosis and turning on my senses. So why? Why do we want to use this tool at all? Because it's life changing. It can stop the momentum of the negativity. It can stop you from going down a train of thought that doesn't bless or serve you. It can open up your mind to the possibilities. It can help you tap into that broader, expansive perspective. So, to give you an example, in my own life recently, I felt extremely fearful and worried about money. And I used this self hypnosis technique when I was out on a hike in nature, and I brought in my different senses, and it created so much sacredness and spacious energy. Let's go ahead, take that beautiful, let's start with the sigh breath. Just take a beautiful deep breath in through your pelvic area. Bring it up to your heart. Let it just release, drop, let go. So just an exaggerated sigh. Let's just keep doing that. Go ahead and open up your eyes. Let's imagine maybe you're at the zoo and there's all kinds of amazing visual things or sounds or textures that you can tap into. Let's go ahead and imagine, take that beautiful deep breath. And on the exhale, take it in, feel it. Selectively focus on things that feel good to you. Letting go of the judgment, going beyond words. What we want to do is we want to make feeling good more of an experience, more real, to bring in the senses so that it overrides those dramatic events that feel like they're in our face, or those old patterns of thought or thinking that can feel so strong and so real, because we all have go-to defensive default patterns. Like, for instance, I have certain places I go to when I feel fearful or anxious about my well-being. It could be people that I go to and blame, conditions, patterns of thought about myself. And chances are you do too. So what? Welcome to the human race. And we can start to, as soon as we notice these default patterns, as we become aware of it, we can do the self hypnosis technique to stop that. So maybe we start to become aware. I get really angry at other people when they disagree with me. All right, beautiful. Welcome to the human race. And to really recognize Oh, feeling good works so much better. Giving people the wiggle room to be human, to figure things out, really serves me, to let them make mistakes, to let them sift through and live their life. And when we do the self hypnosis technique, we come into that broad perspective and we remember. We remember things like, oh, it's a no assertion universe. This person can't hold me back. They're not more powerful than infinite intelligence, God, source, divine energy, where we remember we don't have to defend ourselves or have an ego or be right. It's okay. It's okay if other people think that you're wrong. It's okay if other people negatively judge you. So what? Welcome to the human race. So, what we're going to be doing with our sigh breath, go ahead and imagine a smell that you really enjoy. Maybe it's waking up in the morning, your loved one makes you a pot of coffee, you make yourself coffee. I don't know. The smell of herbal tea. It could be the smell of the morning air. Tap into a smell that feels good to you. Let's take that beautiful sigh breath and just let that beautiful, spacious, sacred, light, freeing feeling. That's how you know if you're tapping into it. It's an energy that feels good. Okay, so we're imagining it, which you can get to, but what I challenge you to do is to go out today in your life, do the sigh breath, and tap into something that feels really nice, really pleasant. Let's imagine a vision, something that you see. I think of right now on the way back from my hike, I saw, I don't know, it must have been about 15 or 20 birds. I think it was, I'm not quite, I think it was vultures. And it was so lovely. They were flying around and kind of swooping down into the car. And it was just beautiful. The morning sunshine, the fall colors, it just was a beautiful vision. So it brings good feelings to me. So I challenge you to use the self hypnosis technique, the sigh breath, and do that while you're enjoying, while you're really letting all the rest go and you're just focusing in on that. Like, for instance, on my hike, I saw all these spider webs in these dried out flowers. And with the sun, the way it shone, it just was magical. It was just so lovely. So I did my sigh breath. Let's do that together. And then just go to the feeling of a vision. Imagine it in your mind. I challenge you to use this technique to keep your eyes open throughout the week as you take in those visions. So we've got smell, we've got vision. Ah, texture can be really beautiful. I I didn't I didn't really do that this morning, but I have done that. Like, I think of when I've gone to the rose garden in Boise, and part of the beautiful experience is touching those rose petals because they're silky soft, some of them, or rubbing them up against my cheek. It feels so good. Or I think of waking up in the morning, taking the time to feel whether it's silk sheets or flannel sheets that I might have on the bed. It's like, oh, this feels so nice against my comfortable body. Or I feel the comfort of, oh, my head feels just cradled and just right in the pillow. And then I'm doing that self hypnosis breath because what we're doing is we're associating those positive feelings, so that just like a dog starts to salivate when you get out the dog food, it becomes this default go-to positive, good feeling when you use the tool. Now let's go to our calm breath, the 2 sharp inhales, and then the extended exhale out through the mouth. 2 sharp inhales in through the nose, taking it into the belly, up to the heart. Let's do that again. 2 sharp inhales into the belly. All right, again, when we do this one, to go out into your life and to make this tool even more potent and strong. So you might focus in on smells, on texture, on vision. Let's go to a place of taste. I have a particularly strong ability to relive tastes, so that, for instance, I can relive a delicious meal all over again and enjoy it, that I can tap into that feeling of taste. And so we're going to be developing our abilities to enjoy the world more, to focus in on these beautiful senses, to become more awake and alive as we practice these these quick little mini pause breaks throughout the day. So let's imagine before a meal, before you sit down to a meal, you do your breath. Let's imagine you had something that tasted particularly good, a really yummy bite of a delicious nectarine, something that just felt so wonderful. So go ahead, do that breath. Obviously, you're not going to do it while you're eating. That doesn't make any sense. But you can take that breath, and then you can have that next bite and savor it. So the two are going to start to be associated together. That I have different memories that I go back to when I just was really savoring a meal. And I can go back to that moment. Like I remember a salad moment where the salad just felt so right and so delicious, so that I can go back to that and I can do the calm breath or the sigh breath or the love technique, which I'm going to start to do more tutorials on. And you can feel those good feelings again. So let's do that sigh breath. And maybe imagine in your mind something delicious that you have eaten. And let it be okay if the real life experience doesn't compare to the imagining, that with time we start to awaken those senses. That let's imagine we are just taking in how the light plays on different objects around us. Let's do the calm breath, 2 sharp inhales and 1 extended exhale, and take it in. Look at how the light plays. Maybe it's artificial light, maybe it's the light around you. I can just look here on my Zoom, and it's like, ooh, I can look at the different lights, like I can look in the background. Ooh, that's kind of cool the way it creates these shadows, so that you start to tap in to the vision, the taste, the texture, the smell, that sensation of sharp or smooth. Start to tap into that and see how it is going to make the self-hypnosis tools that we've been learning. And remember, there's all kinds of tutorials that you can tap into. I've got the Joy Shot with a ton of tutorials on practicing the self-hypnosis, those short little shorts that are 60-second or less and often times I lead you into the self hypnosis. If you want to review the love technique, I've got that series on the YouTube channel with the that self hypnosis love technique where we just go to the energy, we go to the feeling that we want to feel. All right. Love and blessings.